Hello and welcome to this new lecture. Today we'll make a model of a wheel as shown here. We'll be using some new tools to make the threads of the wheel. First, draw a circle and delete the surface of the circle. Then, draw a similar circle on the periphery of the circle perpendicular to it. Now, select the periphery of the circle to use it as a path for the smaller one. Select the Follow Me tool and click on the smaller circle. This way, you've made a tube using the circle and the Follow Me tools. Triple click on the tube to select all the entities in it. Now check the entity info on the default tray to the right. You can see 2,700 entities. If we combine these entities to make a single group, it will be much easier to work with. Right-click on the selected tube and select Make Group from the drop-down menu. Now you can see instead of 2,700 entities, it is a single group. Working with groups is so much easier and efficient. Once a solid group is made, we can check its volume as well from the entity info. You can access the entity info from Window, then Default Tray, then Entity Info. Now we need to draw the spokes of the wheel. To do so, let's draw a line from the origin to the inner surface of the tube. Make sure you get it to touch the surface. Now we will use the Rotate tool and press Ctrl to make copies. You can decide the direction of the rotation, clockwise or anti-clockwise, by rotating the line in that direction. We know that a circle has 360 degrees. If we keep the spokes 30 degrees apart, then we'll have a total of 12 spokes. Enter 30 degrees to make a copy of the line at that angle. Then enter 12x to make 12 copies of the first line at the same angle. Now select all the spokes and make them into a group. Now we have to create a hub as shown in this wheel. To do that, draw a circle from the origin. Then use the Push-Pull tool to pull it to the same distance from both sides. Make a group of it as well. You can paint the wheel to make it look better. Now we have to create the threads of the wheel. For this purpose, we will create a rectangle normal to the green axis. After creating the rectangle, we must position it properly in front of the wheel. We'll use the Move tool. Once the rectangle is placed, we'll draw the design for the threads. You can draw any design you'd like. After making the thread design, use the Push-Pull tool to push the threads into the tube. And try to keep them away from the hub. If the threads are too big, you can scale them to be smaller. Once the threads are scaled and positioned properly, group them. We need the threads of the circumference of the tube, which means that the threads should be present all along the circumference. To achieve this, we'll use the Rotate tool. We have to rotate the threads in the blue-green plane, normal to the red axis, so we will lock our position in that direction. Set your origin at the center of the hub and select a reference line to rotate from. If you press Ctrl while rotating, the Copy command will toggle on. Input any appropriate angle to see the result. Once you have decided on the angle, you can input the number of copies you want, like 60 times. But we want these threads all along the circumference. There are 360 degrees in a circle, so we'll choose an angle of 3 degrees, and then input 120 times to make 120 copies along the whole circle. Now we have to imprint the design of the threads on the tube. First, we'll select all the threads and the wheel. Then, right-click on the selected area and select the Intersect Faces option from the drop-down menu. Choose the With Selection option because we're applying it to the selected objects only. Don't worry if the process is taking a bit of time to complete. This can happen because of the large number of entities present. Once completed, we can remove the threads to see our result. See, the design is imprinted on the tube. Before erasing the threads, select your wheel and lock it so it doesn't get erased by mistake. Now erase the threads. This will take some time, so we'll skip it. After removing the threads, you'll get a pattern as shown on the other wheel. And the pattern of threads may vary according to your design. And that's it from me for today. Well done! We've covered a lot today. I'll see you soon for the next lecture.